Hello everybody. In today's video, for the low introductory price sale of definitely absolutely nothing,
Most believable part of this that Amberlyn did not shower.
we have such a treat. The second part of Amber Reed's members only live stream was actually worse than the first part. Just the fun of a start. Amber has decided to lie about her test results, pretending that she never got her thyroid tested. Amber, continue to tell these pointless lies when there's proof on the internet. And you mark my words, one of the things that could happen is she's going to say, "Oh my God, I forgot," or "You misunderstood me," or just doesn't answer it at all. Amber, the proof is in your own videos. This is why you continue to have a bad relationship with your audience. You lie about pointless stuff that doesn't matter. Also, Ambi, can I call you Pookie, has decided to stop doing certain videos. What will I do with myself? Not react to them like I haven't been. All right, does the fun ever start? If you could not tell already by this ridiculous intro, every single thing I'm saying, just my opinions, not facts. Please don't take me seriously, because that's all I'm sharing, my own opinions, not facts. Based on publicly accessible information first made public by public figures, please don't go to these people's channels and leave mean-spirited, negative, discouraging, disparaging comments. Entertainment purposes only. Right, here's part 2 of Amber's members only live stream. Yeah, you missed so much. She talks about how she didn't know that eating a carrot can, turn you orange. Don't worry, girl. And she was like, "Oh yeah, this carrot, this carrot was in the dirt. Now someone picked it and now it's with Amberlyn Reed." Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that wonderful imagery. That's what people are really paying $10 for. So somebody was talking to her about this carrot and they were like, "Oh, this carrot, whatever." And then out of nowhere, she's like, "Well, you know how reaction channels don't have all the info and they're continuously just like spreading misinformation about me. Here's my question, Amber. How are reaction channels spreading misinformation about you when you're sitting around obsessing over them, as mentioned in part 1, and asking Chat GPT about them?" This is why she's upset. She doesn't want to delete any of her videos, right? Just like in this video, we'll talk about how she's been lying about her results for her thyroid function, which is so weird. Who lies about being tested, your thyroid being tested, right? So, how are reaction channels spreading misinformation? 95% of the time, I would say, my opinion, reaction channels are taking your videos, repeating what you say, and showing how you lied. So, you obsessing over reaction channels on ChatGPT, spending your time alone in your house, asking ChatGPT about reaction channels, not understanding that there's not, like, you think that there's nothing wrong with that, and then obsessing over them. Like, imagine in the second part of the live stream, they're just talking about carrots, and out of nowhere she just brings it up, like brings up reaction channels, because somebody had said something to her about a carrot and she's like, "Oh, well, I had some information, maybe it was wrong." How reaction channel, like, calm down. Like, this is my opinion. Reaction channels don't care about you. It's just a job. For most of us, it's one job when we have another. Like, honestly, Amber, this is really, really weird. So there's one other thing that happens. So she takes Twinkie out, okay? And I just want to make myself very clear. So once I say this, there's absolutely like no misunderstanding, okay? I believe that Twinkie comes first. I believe that with how bad she treats her animals, in my opinion, she doesn't even take Twinkie out enough. Like, that's just my opinion. And she has lost animals before. Where is rarity? So I definitely think that, of course, she did the right thing by taking Twinkie out to the bathroom. She left the chat for 10 minutes. The chat was idle, and the ceiling, our favorite girl, our favorite side character, was showing for 10 minutes. So, yes, she did the right thing by obviously taking Twinkie when Twinkie needed to go. However, my personal opinion is the reason that she had to take Twinkie out during the live stream is because she clearly had not taken Twinkie out for a while. My point is, I have almost never seen a live stream, and there are a lot of YouTube creators that have pets, that have dogs that need to be taken out. Magically, by magic, love it when magic gets involved, their dogs are taken out to go to the bathroom right before the live stream. The point I'm trying to make is there's nothing wrong with Twinkie going to the bathroom. And again, I think she should have taken her if she needed to go. The issue is that I think Amber wakes up a few hours before the live stream and doesn't do anything. And in the worst case scenario, she wakes up in the morning and does nothing all day, doesn't do anything. Okay, if you want some proof, why is Amber always filming her YouTube videos right after she does her members only live streams? That's actually happening. That's not my opinion. In her videos that she's posting every Tuesday, she always says, well, I just did my live stream. And you see that she's already tired for the night. She always films her YouTube videos right after she finishes her members only live stream. Amber, why don't you go and film that video in the morning when you wake up? What do you have to do? And by the way, I really don't care what she's doing because we all know it's nothing. The idea is, I think she's trying to do nothing all day and then cram all of her responsibilities into the last few hours. And by the way, I'm sure somebody will say, oh, well, she did take Twinkie out probably in the morning or in the early afternoon. Okay. It's her responsibility not to leave her live stream, her paid live stream that people are paying $10 for 10 minutes to take Twinkie out. Take Twinkie out right before you start your live stream. It's not that she shouldn't take Twinkie out, and I hope I made myself very clear. Yes, Twinkie comes first. You should take Twinkie out. But it's so palpable how you don't take care of anything until the last moment, until you're forced to, until the last moment. Why are you filming your YouTube video right after the live stream? That doesn't even make any sense. Why don't you just film it earlier or you get it over with in the day? We all know how much you don't like your, YouTube videos. Anyways, speaking of what she said in her YouTube video. So she posted this ridiculous video saying, I have something to tell you. And in the video, she's saying she's not going to do the weigh-ins and she's not going to do what I consume and lie to you about in a day. How will we ever recover? So what she says is that people are unkind to her and she doesn't understand why they're unkind to her in these videos because it has nothing to do with them. Okay. And she says that she's not being as transparent, really, you don't say in these videos, so she's just going to stop. Look, I think this is great. First of all, I think you need to drop down your workload because clearly you're working too hard, Pookie, to only your live stream. You know what I would be comfortable with? Just my opinion. How about you walk your dog more and you spend more time with your pets and you do your big work job, nice, amazing job that you're doing, and it's so phenomenally effortful. Just do that less and walk your dog more because your dog is clearly not being walked enough. Never mind that your dog is in a very unhealthy state. And recently, Amber said she took her animals to the vet, didn't even say why. What a big surprise. By the way, I want you all to be ready for her to come out and say that there's something going on with like Twinkie, because the reality is that she is, in my personal opinion, this is not a fact, but I believe in what I'm saying 100% true based on what I've witnessed. I think that she's not taking proper care of Twinkie. So just be ready for anything. Anyways, all right. So Amber, here's my thoughts on what you're saying as a part of your audience about people being unkind to you. So first of all, there are people that have like a really big following on TikTok or on YouTube that do similar types of videos, and they also get criticism. I feel like whenever you show anything from anybody's private life, you get criticized on the internet because that's how the internet is. And I suspect you know that, Amber. Of course, you think that you're somehow different and special and people are specially criticizing you. So let's go with that. Okay. So your videos about what you consume, they're not 100% transparent. And I'm not judging that, and I don't care, and I'm not going to go any further with that. But even your ex-spec has admitted that those videos are not transparent. And you think that you are way smarter than your audience, and your audience can tell that your videos are not transparent. They basically feel that you're lying to them. So that's why they're criticizing you. As far as like your other updates about your, like your health-wise and all that stuff that you're going to stop, look, I really, I don't even know what to say anymore. Amber, nobody cares. You used to get 100,000 views per video because people cared. And now that you've demanded that Zachary Michael stop talking about you, and they did, and, you're getting less and less views because you've lost the people that they were bringing into your channel. I love that for you, Pookie. What can I tell you, Amber? Do we really care? Like, let me know in the dislikes and comments down below. Do y'all care that she's not going to make these, weigh-in videos? Not going to make all these other consuming videos? Like, honey, just do whatever makes you happy, okay? Focus more on your pets. Nobody believes anything you say anyways, and here's why. She always likes to say this. Well, no one believes what I have to say anyways. Amber, that is because you're constantly lying. I mean, the situation with you lying about how many times you had your thyroid checked is so pointless. It is so pointless, everybody. Like, imagine lying about something that this doesn't even affect her. Why would she lie about that? Anyways, my point is, Amber, go with Kermit. Okay, I don't care. Just whatever. Let's just move on. So in that same video, Amber has decided to blatantly lie that she hasn't had a thyroid test on her labs. Like, she hasn't had her thyroid tested since she was 15 years old. So literally, she says that her doctor asked her, when was the last time you had your thyroid tested? And she said 15 years old. Here's some screenshots from Apathetic Facts' video that I will link down below, which clearly state that Amber has said on multiple occasions that nothing is wrong with my thyroid. Yes, I had my thyroid checked multiple times. I myself remember her saying that she has had her labs done where her thyroid was checked. So here's the thing. She is blatantly lying that she hasn't had her thyroid checked since, like, she was 15 years old. The thing is this. This is a pointless lie that serves no one. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve anyone else. Here are the possibilities of what might have happened and what she will say once this is, asked of her in the next members only live stream. So of course she could just decide not to address it and never talk about it again. That's first of all, that could happen. But here are some possibilities of what may have happened. First of all, if she were to be believed, and either she's lying now or she's lying back then. If she's to be believed now, not a single doctor included a thyroid test on all the basic lab tests that were ran on her. I can tell you that every single time I have ever gotten my basic labs done myself, a thyroid function is always included in it. But I'm sure that somebody was going to come here and say, no, it isn't. No, Amber's telling the truth. Okay. So Amber has continuously told us throughout the years that she has had her thyroid checked, and also she doesn't have diabetes and her thyroid is fine. So what could have honestly happened is she could have had her thyroid levels checked and they were fine before and now they are not fine. That can also happen. Okay. Okay. The other possibility is, what are you trying to tell us, Amber, that no doctor in the world ever gave you a thyroid test? Impossible. It's usually, I would say 90% of the time, included in your basic labs. That's been my experience. That's been my friend's experience. Or what's behind door number Kermit? Amber has been lying that her thyroid has been fine. All these years, she has been encouraged by doctors possibly to go on medicine for hypothyroidism, and she just refused. And now she's telling people that this is a problem. So, Amber, I ask you, what is the point of lying about it? You have extensively talked to us about how you have had your thyroid checked and it was fine. So you're either lying now or you were lying back then. See, this is why people think you're lying all the time. Because you are. Let's move on to Foodie Beauty, who has had yet another video taken down due to violating the terms of service. The videos that Amber Reed and Chantal Marie. Chantal, when are you changing your name from Foodie Beauty? When are you changing your name back to Chantal Marie? Let us know. So these two people are making videos that are continuously against the TOS. You are not allowed to flaunt the problems that both of you have, ladies. ladies. Hi, my previous video was removed for mentioning this word. Rhymes with your husband still doesn't want you. Though I wasn't doing that in my video. Ah, well, no biggie. From now on, I will just title them what I consume videos, which is what they are. See ya. So the reality is that the videos that Amber and Chantal make are against the TOS. This is not something that I made up. I am telling you that you are not allowed to show what Amber usually shows on Saturdays when you have a problem with it. You're just not allowed. Chantal again posted a video using words that are not allowed, talking about topics that are not allowed, and she had her video removed. Now, why is Amber and Chantal not getting, a TOS violation strike? The reason that they're not getting strikes is because YouTube unfortunately changed their system, and these two people are mistreating the system. That's a nice word for it. What's going on is you get a warning, and even if you've had a few warnings, you get to do this online school where you go and you learn why you broke the terms of service, and then they give you another chance. That's why Amber and Chantal are able to continuously, over and over and over again, uh, you know, just continue to post content that's against the TOS. Chantal has had strikes before, and so has Amber. Chantal, what's your name this week? Is it Everyday Miriam or Foodie Beauty? Or I get so confused with all the names you have. Who's actually the real you? Because, everything that you show is smoke and mirrors. But the point of the story is basically Chantal, one of these days you're going to have your channel permanently taken down. And how are you going to pay your bills after that? Oh, that's right. Your husband, who you're legally married to, is going to pay all your bills. Great. Chantal has already had her channel deleted once. It will be deleted permanently one of these days. Chantal knows that she's not allowed to post the type of content that she does every day, and she still continues to do it. YouTube sometimes takes a very long time to get to people, but eventually they do. So TikTok, Chantal, just another video taken down for extensively breaking the terms of service. You know who keeps breaking the terms of service? Chantal and Amber. You know how I know that besides the obvious? Knowing the rules, they're the ones that are getting their videos taken down. So I want to briefly talk about Foodie Beauty's new cat situation type nightmare. I don't want to go deeper into it because I don't understand one thing. People are still surprised that this woman doesn't care about cats or animals and only cares about herself. Her and her fake husband are out and about and find a bunch of stray cats. She takes one stray kitten home. She takes the kitten to the vet. She starts kissing the kitten. The mother, I suppose, was there. And so they take him, meaning the kitten's mother. They take the cat to the vet. The vet supposedly tells them that, the kitten, is ill, needs medicine, needs antibiotics, is not in a good situation. Chantal starts asking for money from her audience. And then eventually people get very upset, start reporting her because supposedly some people were saying you are not allowed to ask for donations for this type of stuff. Then is she allowed to take the cat? Is she not allowed to take the cat? She makes massive angry videos, massive angry community page posts. I'm just going to show you some of these posts. Some of them can't even fully read out. You people like this are sick. If this kitten passes, it's on you. The vet said this kitten would have passed if we did not intervene. The kitten had severe infection in its lungs, needs medicine. Somebody had told her, how dare you steal a tiny baby kitten away from its mom? You should not own any animals. Okay, so then we have this from Chantal. If the kitten passes, it's, you're the hater's fault. Mass reported me taking the kitten, that's why. And to avoid issue, I returned it. I had no choice. This is not Canada, different laws. Let's just stop right here and say, because, all right. So Chantal, you constantly tell us that, you're just this changed woman, and how many times have I told y'all when I talk about Foodie Beauty that the image that she portrays visually on camera is smoke and mirrors? She wants to go back to Canada. She wants to celebrate Halloween. She wants to go to Starbucks. She wants to party. She wants to be who she really is. What she is showing you is a falsehood. Chantal, you didn't know you weren't living in Canada anymore? and there were different laws. Like it's almost as if every single time that these dramas happen, she finds out that she is supposedly in a different country with different laws, but that should be ingrained in her. Like, for example, I live in the United States of America. I'm very well aware of the laws here. I wouldn't be all of a sudden surprise Pikachu that, oh, this is how it is in America. You understand what I'm saying? Everything she shows you is a falsehood. She did not change. She did not become someone that she's showing you on a daily basis. You understand what I'm saying? In every one of my videos, I've said that. Maybe here's some proof. Although we've had it before. So the haters would rather see the kitten back in the park and possibly pass. Yes, the kitten has a mom, but even with having a mom, it was on the verge of, okay, the kitten has several infections and was malnourished. So I know you think you did something. Honestly, all right, so this is ridiculous. Honestly, this is just sad and ridiculous. So basically, she did return the kitten, all right, but not before people donated, okay? She's made several angry videos about this topic, saying that people don't understand and this and that. So people wanted their money back, as always. Whenever these things happen, people donate to her in a rash, and then she's like, well, YouTube takes like a cut of what I made, so if you really want, the money like back, you have to contact me, but I don't know how I'm going to give it back to you. Okay. So this is the only thing that I want to say about this topic. Like I said, I'm not going to spend a long time on it. Chantal is a person that has mistreated her own animals. And the majority of people who know about Foodie Beauty know this. She left BBJ with certain things on BBJ's behind. BBJ's nails weren't clipped. She knew it. She also, unfortunately, just let BBJ walk around with infections. So anything that she does now for Julia or for Stray Cats is what we like to call performative. She wants the internet not to think that she's a mistreater. You always cared about men or fake men that fake wanted to be with you for $9,000 more than animals. But here's my main point. This is what I want to get across about this situation. Why is it that every single time that Foodie Beauty wants to help animals, wants to help cats, she needs to always ask her audience for money? Look, she wants her audience's money, in my opinion, rather than helping cats. Listen, Chantal, you're so altruistic, you're so selfless, you want to help baby cats. Okay. Why don't you just do that without your audience? Your audience donates a bunch of money. They want their money back because you returned the kitten, and you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll keep this money to feed other cats. I can't give this money back to you. I almost never say this, but at this point I have to. I really hope that her audience stops giving her money because she is defrauding you. Can't you see that? Look, this is the bottom line. I understand somebody rescuing a kitten and, needing help feeding them, taking care. I understand that. But in this situation, she only wants to help starving cats in the streets. She's only wanting to help the animals if her audience actually pay for it. So Chantal, you claim that your husband has a job. You claim you have a job. Look, what I'm really trying to say is this. It's not just that she's only altruistic when she's not and somebody else is paying the bills, like her audience. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think she wants to help the kittens. I don't think she wants to help the stray animals. I think she's just trying to get donations. She doesn't really get a lot of donations on a daily live stream, but if she says she's going to help the kitten, of course she will. This is all about selfishness, not selflessness, okay? So that is my opinion. Return the cat, didn't return the cat. At this point, I don't care. You should not be around animals. You mistreat them. And in my opinion, you are defrauding your audience out of their money. And I always say, if what people want to donate, donate. But in this case, you know that she's not going to do what she claims with the money. See, every single time people donate, right, to her helping animals, there's always some kind of an issue. Do you know why? Because she has negative intentions. No, she doesn't want to somehow magically, I love it when magic gets involved, become a whole new person and help animals. What she's interested in is getting the donations. And if she spends $100 out of that 700 or 600 or $300 on the cats, that's fine. But remember, she can have 200 for herself. That is my personal opinion. Why do you think people want their money back if you return the cat? And why aren't you just refunding everybody privately? Yeah. Rinse, lather, Delulu, here we are. It's the same story whenever she quote unquote rescues animals. It's always the same story. It's not genuine. That's why it's not working out. A lot of the times in life, when you have bad intentions, it shows. All right, that's about it for today's video. I wish everybody mentioned all the best. Thank you all so very much for watching today. Definitely appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed today's video, please go and check out this other video that's popping up here. You may enjoy it. Thank you so much for being here. Thoughts, comments, questions, leave them in the dislikes and comments down below. I'll see you next time. Bye.